Brothers and sisters, welcome for today's reflection on gratitude. Our life will be a blessing to others when we are grateful people. That's the reason I thought we could reflect together on the important topic of gratitude, which is also a good Christian virtue. Gratitude is also known as thanksgiving. It is an attitude of the mind and an attitude of the heart as well. When Jesus healed the 10 lepers, only one returned to say thank you. And Jesus asked him, where are the other 9? In other words, why the 9 people did not come to thank him? And we also read in the life of Mother Mary, there is a great hymn called the Hymn of Thanksgiving, Gratitude. My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. This is one of the beautiful hymns of Mary found in the New Testament in the Lucan Gospel. My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has done great things for me. Holy is his name. Gratitude, brothers and sisters, expresses a deep sense of faith that God is the giver as well as the doer. Therefore, we need to recall and recount the gifts that we have received from the hands of God. Gratitude takes us to God recognition. God recognition is a sign of faith. Let me give you 2 examples. Once a person was certified with a cancerous growth in the stomach. Immediately, medicines were administered, prayers were said, not only by the person concerned, but by so many members of the family. And in all this, faith was working. All of them depended on prayer and faith along with the medicine. So there are 3 things that are involved: medicine, prayer, and faith. After a month of medication, the person went for the medical tests, and there he was declared fit. That cancerous growth almost melted away. Should we not recognize God's hands in it? Likewise, let's take another example. A person who was married, and that couple for more than 10 years, they did not have any issue. It was a sad state of affairs at home, feeling helpless, no conception. Medical tests revealed that there was a mild cyst in the uterus. Medicines were administered, and the doctor told them, generally the cyst will be healed, but since it is an old cyst, we need only God's help. Prayer and faith started working in them. The woman and her husband along with the other family members, prayed with deep faith. After a few months, the cyst is diluted and she was declared fit for conception, and she conceived after 10 long years. Imagine. What a joy in the family. What a peace in the family. The couple are grateful to God, the healer and the giver of life. A beautiful girl was born and she was named as Anugraha, namely grace, and she is called as Anu. Likewise, all of us experience untold graces from God day after day. That is why there is a need for gratitude for known and unknown helps and graces. The question arises to modern men and women, when medicines and treatment are superior, where is the need for God recognition? This comes from a rationalistic attitude that we all have in modern times today. The need for God affirmation, namely faith, is it needed or not? Along with advanced technology. It is said about the scientist Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he used to say when everything was set in Sriharikota for any kind of a satellite launch, when the countdown begins, he would say, "We have done our best. Now let's all pray to our gods." A multi-religious community, each one praying to his or her God. We have done our best. Now the success depends on God. That is a faith affirmation. Likewise, in biological sciences too, even when it is an age-related issue, the doctors always say, we treat the sickness, but God only gives health. In all these cases, we see science, prayer, faith are interdependent and correlated. A rationalistic solution of removing God away from all our attempts will only lead to failure. Once a strong man came to a guru and said, "You know how strong I am? I can cut this branch with just one stroke." The guru said, "Yes, go ahead." The branch was cut into two. Then the guru said to him, "Now put it back." The man felt small. He could only kill the tree, kill the branch. Can he give life to the branch? Brothers and sisters, gratitude is an affirmation that God is, God helps, and God gives life and the rest. We can go a little deeper on this whole issue. Qualities that flow from gratitude is not only God affirmation, but also God dependence. Is not only God affirmation, but God dependence. Depending on God is a step deeper than recognizing and affirming God. It affirms my finitude and also God's supremacy. It also affirms my creatureliness and confirms the creative nature of God. The greatest biblical personality is Job, who asserted, God gave and God has taken away, in Job 1:21. In spite of his enemies scolding him, in spite of his family members ridiculing him, Job did not hesitate to assert his dependence on God. God gave everything: health, children, lands, properties. Now God is taking away as He is the master. This was the answer of Job, and he felt comfortable with this attitude of God dependence. When we depend on God, brothers and sisters, we do not become small. Rather, we become strong in spiritual depth. In today's psychology, we do not appreciate depending people. They are rated as immature. But dependence on God, does it lead to immaturity in our lives? Dependence tells us that we are not only depending on God, but we are depending on one another too. Dependence is also interconnectedness. Dependence is known more through interdependence. So between dependence and independence, the fullness of life is in neither. It is in interdependence which is strong. We speak of dependence on God, dependence on others, and dependence on oneself. In other words, dependence is also a key virtue in our lives. Showing dependence on God is neither mature nor immature, but the perfection is in interdependence with God and with other human beings. When we express our gratitude by words like thank you, thanks, we acknowledge the fact of interdependence. I tell you an anecdote. Once an European white father traveled by an auto. As he got out of the auto, put down his luggage, he told the auto driver, "Thank you, sir." The driver refused to take money from him. He told him, "I do not require that money, sir." "Why? You are the first man who called me sir. And you are the first man who said thank you so devotedly." So thank you with gratitude builds up people in our surroundings. What are the areas in which we can show our gratitude day after day? At home, we can thank one another. Husband thanking the wife, wife thanking the husband, children thanking the parents, and parents thanking the children. In the office or workplace, we can show our gratitude for any help that we receive, sometimes a little money, sometimes a word of concern, sometimes even a packet of food when we have not taken the food that day. All this builds up people as well as one another. Once a man told me that he had 2 girls and arranged the wedding for the first girl. A friend of his who knew perhaps his difficulties brought 5 lakhs in cash and told him, use it for the wedding and return it when you can. The man received it with tears and with deep sense of gratitude. He need not have to take a loan. It was a help given to him out of friendship, even without asking for it. Gratitude pays rich dividends in one's life. Let us cultivate it like a sweet virtue. So we have seen in this little reflection, brothers and sisters, that we need to affirm God, and affirming God leads us to dependence on God. And dependence is not a weak virtue. Dependence takes us to interdependence and interconnectivity. And we can depend on God, depend on others, and depend on oneself too. And so we humbly bow before the Lord and pray to give us this spirit of gratitude in our life that will help us in a human way to grow and to grow to perfection.